Hello, everyone, and welcome to this live called I Am Money. I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to change your perspective on money. So, money is a funny thing. It's basically the way that you create money in your life is actually energetic. And what do I mean by energetic? Well, if you think that you have a money problem in your life, it's not actually a problem with creating money, it's a problem with receiving. So, what I want to look at is how can we change the energy in your life so that you can receive more money with ease? What do I mean by receiving? Well, there is this thing, and you'll probably notice it more easily in nature, where, the plants will gift and receive with each other. And so, what we would like to start to create with you and money is this place where you have this gifting and receiving. So, the first thing that I would like to address in regards to being money, having more money, and receiving money with greater ease is the points of view that you have about money. When I first started to look at this, I definitely had a lot of decisions about how I was wrong and bad with money, because I didn't seem to function like everyone else did with money. And I felt uneducated and like I didn't know very much. And, there was a lot of points of view about myself and judgments about myself. And so I've got to a point where I was like, okay, I need to do something to change this. And the first thing that I chose that started to change things was the How to Become Money workbook. It's a workbook that you can use to really address the points of view that you have about money, and you can get it from the Access Consciousness shop. It's just accessconsciousness.com, and in the shop you'll find the How to Become Money workbook. So in this workbook, there's a series of questions that really ask you about what your point of view is about money. And what I noticed is that I started to get clearer on what my points of view were that I didn't even know I had. And they didn't necessarily make sense, like logical sense. It was just some of these points of view I had taken on, from my family when I was growing up, from my friends, from just basically the world around me. And I wasn't actually getting to know what was true for me. It was just, okay, this is how people do it. So this is how I should do it. But it's like, I never really asked, well, does this work for me? And what do I know about money? What do I know about creating money and having money and being money? So, as I started to address these points of view, I noticed that money started to change in my life. And the changes were energetic. So, one of the things that I would often do is that I would pay myself last. I would pay all my bills. I would, you know, spend money on other people. I would do all sorts of things, and I would not honor me with money. So I started to put like 10% of everything that came in away as an honoring of me. And how did that change the energy? Well, it was me committing to me and my financial reality and my financial future by saying, I'm going to pay me first. So whenever money came in, I started to put that 10% away before I paid anything else, even if it meant that I had to stretch things out a little bit and, not pay my bills on time, or, not have money for other things. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to commit to it, and I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to make it happen no matter what. Um, and then what I started to notice was that I had a lot of points of view that were from scarcity. So when I say scarcity, it's like it's that lack point of view. It's that place where you're not really functioning from abundance, you're functioning from like a limitation, and that there's not enough. And so what I started to realize is that my point of view was creating my reality. So if I had the point of view that there was not enough money, or I did not have enough money, or I wasn't making enough money, that's what would show up in my life. So I started to challenge those points of view, and I started to realize that they were just the limitations that I was creating that was allowing my financial reality to be how it was. And that was quite confronting because one of the things, if you'd like to change your financial reality, you've got to realize that everything that you have today is based on the choices that you've been making. You are where you are today because of the choices that you've been making. So from there, I realized, okay, if these are the choices I've been making and this is the reality I've been creating, I need to make some different choices. So I started to make some different choices, and what started to show up was different realities, things that I would start to receive, and, possibilities that would show up that I just didn't expect would happen. And I didn't know where they were coming from, but it was that change that I'd been creating, which was allowing me to receive more. Okay. And when you make a change that allows you to receive more, you receive more of everything, which includes money. So from that place, I also realized that I needed to address the education side of things because I don't know about you, but when I went to school, no one taught you about personal finances. No one taught you about how to manage your money. So it was like I had to do my own research, and I started watching documentaries about money to see how the monetary systems were created. I started to read some books like Money Isn't the Problem You Are. Again, the money workbooks I used. Um, the Penny Capitalist is another book I can recommend. And I also just started to talk to people about how did they create money in their lives and what did they know about money. And it was also this place of coming out of this thing where money was a wrongness. I had this strong point of view that it was wrong to have lots of money because if you had lots of money, you were one of those people that were going to, destroy the planet and destroy the world. But what I realized is no, having money is a choice, and what you do with it is also a choice. So as I came out of this like wrongness of me for having money and desiring to have money and desiring to educate myself about money, I noticed that things became easier, and it was because I had more clarity in my life. So one thing I would also say to all of you who are watching is get clear on what is your financial reality right now and what you would like your financial reality to be, and then start to make choices in that direction. Okay. So one of the things you can do is get like a spreadsheet or write it down on a piece of paper, however it works for you. Find out how much money is coming into your life and how much money is going out of your life. And that's basically as simple as it needs to be for this exercise. Now, if you have more money going out of your life than you do coming in, then you need to add something. You need to increase what you're making. And you don't what we want to try and avoid is not what do I have to cut back on so that I can, save more or have more. You can do that, but what if you actually added more to your life, added different revenue streams, added different forms of income that allowed you to have whatever you already have and more? What if it was be about an expansive financial reality? So when you do that, when you start to get clear and then you start to ask for more starts to show up and different possibilities will become available. So one of the things that I really started to look at with my business was, okay, so how many revenue streams are actually here that I can extrapolate upon, that will allow me and my business to receive more? And so I would go through my business and I would go, okay, so there's this and there's this and there's this and there's this. And then I would put my attention on different parts and go, okay, so how can we create a revenue stream out of this? So that's one way. And that's just an example and something that I used to start to change that because I knew I needed to add more, but I didn't know where it was going to come from. So I had to get creative. And this is where when we're looking at I am money, this is where you start to acknowledge that you're actually an infinite being. And what do I mean by an infinite being? I mean, you have infinite possibilities and infinite choices available. There is no limitation other than that you create. So from that place, you can create so much more. And you can start to look at what is possible here that I've never considered. Money can be fun. Money can be joy. Money can be like actually an amazing creative possibility in your life. And sometimes it just takes changing the points of view that you have to allow that to show up. So many things that I'd like to talk to you guys about, but I can't really do it all here on a Facebook Live. So I'm going to leave you there with that, and hopefully you've got some tools to start to play with. I'm also going to be having more of these conversations about I am money. So this is just the first of a series of lives that I'm going to be doing on this topic. So if you enjoyed this, keep an eye out for more, and I'll have one on again same time next week. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you got something out of this. And yeah, check out accessconsciousness.com for some great materials on having a different possibility with money, and also my website, Wynne-Jones.com. Thanks, guys. Talk to you again soon. Bye for now.